This hourly segment is sponsored by Garden Sense, airing Sundays 12 noon to 1 p.m.
One station making history every day.
Chicago, Chicago.
Now, Jake Hartford.
89 WS.
Speak softly and carry a big stick. End of quote. I promise you, the president has a big stick.
Good morning, everybody. It's 6:09, 9 past 6. 51 minutes before the hour of 7 o'clock. Hour number one of Awake with Jake is up and running on this great Saturday morning. It is dark outside, which normally is during the night. Dark, and then daylight comes. That's the day. It's going to be a quick 2 hours today. The election is Tuesday. I know that because I saw that in the paper. Finally. Hopefully, by Wednesday morning, it will all be over. Cannot wait. I cannot wait. We will take your calls on the election and stuff like that. Also, the New York, what's going on with in New Jersey. And last night, anybody watch the 1 hour special they did, the telethon, to raise money for the Red Cross? It was on all the NBC Universal stations. They carried on HBO. They had a lot of good people. They had Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band. They had Billy Joel. Yes, they had Jimmy Fallon. And I thought Cher was on, and my wife said, no, that's Steven Tyler. What has happened to him? And there's a lot of Brian Williams being Brian Williams. It was a quick 1 hour. But they just kind of concentrated on New Jersey was the big thing with them last night. And there are other states that got hit. And we'll talk about that. The mayor, I call him Bumblerberg of New York, finally canceled the marathon. What was he thinking? What an idiot. He is a special kind of idiot. And even in canceling the marathon, he was an idiot. The storm hit Monday night. Wednesday afternoon, And that's when the president and Governor Christie were going around looking at the damage in New Jersey. The mayor announced they were going to have the marathon was going to go on as planned tomorrow. I immediately put up on the social media, is he effing crazy? New York is in no way ready for a marathon. Physically, they can't get it done. Mentally, the poor people. There are people still waiting. I was watching this morning a news report. There are people in New York still waiting for FEMA. You know, this whole magnificent... Somebody yesterday said that FEMA's response is magnificent. This person was talking about they got a call from the FEMA person who's supposed to come out to their area in Long Island. And they said, well, we can't get there because we don't have gas for our cars. They're effing FEMA. They're supposed to be there. Why can't we have all these planes? We have the military. You have the National Guard. Why can't we put the FEMA people, strap a damn parachute to their back, and drop them out of airplanes over all these areas where all the damage is? Why not? Why can't we do that? The death toll in Staten Island is at 22, and it's gonna get higher. When they start going through the homes looking for people, they're going to find people. They're going to find more dead bodies. Because when you hear some of the stories now about how the water just started rushing in, you know, they say on Long Island they haven't had water there like 40 years, not even a drop in the basements. And the water came and it just was, there were firemen, 20 firemen that were stuck in a house Monday night because the water just rushed in. They had to climb up on the top of this house and go into the attic window, and they had to stay in there until they were rescued. Unbelievable. There was a off-duty New York policeman in Staten Island, saved 7 people, got him up to an attic. He went down to the basement, got electrocuted, dead. And the mayor, Bumbleberg, wanted to have a damn marathon. And then when he cancels the marathon, he says, well, you know, they weren't going to take any, they weren't going to divert any city resources for that. Come on. Who are the cops working for? And and the sanitation workers who could be picking up garbage and debris from the storm. Where are they coming from? And then, in the coup de grace, hanging around John Cass, I'm using French now. The marathon was supposed to start on Staten Island. 50,000 people were supposed to go to Staten Island and start the marathon there. And the Verrazano Bridge, which is the major bridge on and off the island to get supplies in and rescue people and all that good stuff, that would have been closed to all the rescue people so the runners could run across the bridge. And the porta potties that were brought out were for the runners and the marathon people, not for the people of Staten Island. And the bottles of water, not for the people of Staten Island. It was for the marathon people. Bumblerberg, Mayor Bumblerberg. When did the light go on in his head that it was a stupid idea? And then you had some of the hotels were trying to throw the evacuees out because they had people coming in for the marathon. They had to make room. Just unbelievable. I would throw that guy out of office. I would do what I can to get that guy out of office. He's an idiot. Really. And then you've got the union workers in New Jersey. You've got utility companies from around the country, even Canada, which is north of us, sending in workers to help get the power on. And the utility workers who come from states where they're non-union are getting turned away in New Jersey. They have gasoline problems. People are waiting for gas. You know what would really help? If there was a coordinated effort to get the power turned back on in the gasoline stations. That would go a long way in getting those 6-hour gas lines down. Yeah, FEMA. Well, we can't get to you. Can't get to you because we don't have gas. Okay. Paul in Arlington Heights. Good morning, Paul.
Well, good morning, Jake. You know, like you're saying, why wouldn't the National Guard use helicopters to get food and water to the people that are stranded? I mean, why don't they take better action? I mean, if a dummy like me can figure it out, why can't the government figure it out? Use helicopters. You know, if you can't get gasoline, use the helicopters to get the supplies to the people that are in distress over there.
You know, it makes sense. If you're going to get the power on, they had these big generators for the VIP tent for the marathon at the park that were just sitting there unused just for the ready for tomorrow. You know what? Use a generator like that to get the power back on at the gas stations to pump gas.
That's right. And, I'll never forget the date of July 22nd, 2011. Right after I got done talking to you on the phone on your show, I went down to my basement. I saw the water up to the first step in my basement, and I was so upset about that. You know, Jake, I don't have a care in the world compared to those poor people on the East Coast right now. I mean, when you watch the news and see the devastation, those poor people. So, just a suggestion, folks, like they had that special TV show. If you got a few extra bucks, donate to the Red Cross, or like our friend Karen from Countryside, who always promotes donating blood if you can. Donate your blood, because I'm sure there are going to be short supplies of blood that need blood transfusions on the East Coast.
I don't know. It's just the devastation is just unbelievable.
It is. I mean, you can't imagine what those people are going through. I mean, one day they're living normal lives. And some of them, I mean, where those gas lines erupted, and their homes are just gone. I mean, my God, those poor people. Remember them in your prayers.
When I was watching the news this morning, there was they showed a house in Long Island where people just moved in 2 days before the storm hit. Actually, they never even got to stay in the house, and the house blew up.
Oh my Lord!
Yeah.
And you were saying, Jake, about a special place in hell for these ignorant people that would take advantage and loot. I mean, you're right. That is, unconscionable. How can a human being do that to a fellow human being?
You know what? They're not human beings.
No.
They're not human beings.
No. And even, I shouldn't be saying this, but the stupid people, they warned people while I was in northern Wisconsin. They had an article in the paper where people read the obituaries, and these morons go and steal from people while they're at a wake or at a funeral service. There's another set of people that the special place in hell for people like that, too.
You got that right. Thank you, Paul.
All right, Jake. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Yeah, the people that were looting. Come on. And much like when we had Hurricane Katrina, and the media just kind of centered on New Orleans. And people forget that Mississippi and Alabama also got really obliterated in the hurricane. It's the same thing with here. I mean, New Jersey, yep, a lot of damage. New Jersey, a lot in New York. But, there's other states that got hit also. It's just unbelievable. And you got looters, and you got incompetent government. Incompetent. Really incompetent. But I'm here for you. You got that going for you. 6:20 back after this.